veritas contemptum parit. The line comes from Andrea, a comedy written in 166 BC by a Roman playwright named Terence. And not only has his play survived intact down to our day, but that particular phrase has taken on a life of its own. It too has been handed on for nearly 2,200 years as that proverbial nugget of wisdom: familiarity breeds contempt. Understanding, of course, that familiarity does not produce literal contempt, but that an unfiltered and an unstructured closeness to someone or something will erode our respect and our reverence for that person or thing. So no longer holding these persons or events in higher esteem, they then lose authority over us. And this becomes particularly true when it comes to the spiritual and the theological. Mystery, which lies at the very heart of theology, necessitates some element of the unknown or the unknowable. Yet when those things are taken for granted, mystery is hollowed out, reducing the works of religion to mere performance. So enamored by a spirit of the instantaneous, our society has no more room for mystery. Having found itself secularized and commercialized, Christmas is repeatedly victimized by our familiarity. This day has become just another holiday with a laundry list of prerequisites and non-negotiables so as to meet the expectations of those around us. Yet there remains some nagging in our hearts, some void that we cannot seem to fill. And in seeking something to attain our completeness, we become Charlie Brown, in need of a Linus to point us in the right direction. Thus here do we find ourselves, knowing deep within that this day is actually meant for pondering nothing earthly minded. So in gathering together today, we hope to rekindle the flame of mystery that we are in desperate need. In domesticating the gospel over these last 2,000 years, the truth contained therein has lost its revolutionary edge. It just is what it is now. Which is why we need to recapture the true meaning of our great festival. Because Christmas cannot and should not be viewed as something cliched or altogether mundane. And how could it possibly be so? He is God, the creator of the stars at night, the Holy One of Israel, the God of Jacob. He who has at his feet the six-winged seraph, who sits enthroned upon the cherubim with sleepless eye, who veil their faces in the presence. He who is King of kings, yet born of Mary. He who is Lord of lords, but desired to come to us in human vesture, in the body and the blood, but not like the pagan gods of old, who would assume mortal appearance in order to fulfill their every passing fancy, but as a humble child, intent on rescuing the lost. See, his coming in the flesh was foreseen from before time began. And when in the fullness of our time this moment arrived, what we saw was God born insignificant, in an insignificant place. But reality was truly veiled from our eyes. For in that moment, rank on rank, the host of heaven spreads its vanguard on the way as the light of lights descended from that realm of day. See, his incarnation marks the coming of salvation. The divine word came to us in pursuit of victory, that the powers of hell may vanish. as the cloud of darkness clears away. See, a triumph longed for by princes and patriarchs, prophets and priests. They knew that this wasn't just some moralistic story appended to Aesop's fables, but a reality so awesome and so fearful that they gave their very lives to see it come to fulfillment. Now, those lives must be instructive for us as well. See, it is of no use to us if we should recapture the meaning of Christmas, but leave it there. Christmas, as with all of the mysteries of our faith, requires a response. It was out of sheer, unfathomable love for us that our Father did not leave us subjected to sin and death. And in the sending of the Son, our liberation is now at hand. Yet this unmerited gift of our freedom is never forced upon us. We can't be coerced into heaven. Thus, we must willingly receive it from the hands of our good God. And that's where the rubber meets the road. We cannot receive the gift with conflicted hearts or in half measures alone. Salvation, like love, is an all or nothing proposition, which means that our response must be the same: all or nothing. If our love and commitment to our Lord is not the most important and the primary identity by which we understand ourselves, then in reality we have nothing. Christ, our God, to earth descended, and it is our full homage he demands. Anything less, and we miss the mark. Christmas should be one of those days in which we are struck at just how radical God himself loves us. It is a day when all mortal flesh should keep silence. A day when we should stand with fear and trembling at the very thought of it. Today marks the advent of our salvation. The day when God became man so that man might become like unto God. But as with all things, familiarity breeds contempt. And so many of us can find ourselves too close to the mystery, emptying it of all sobriety and ferocity. So whether we embrace that mystery is now entirely up to us. Anything less than full commitment is rejection. But if we constantly lift up our whole hearts in glory, adoration, and worship of the God who became man this day, then we too may join that angelic chorus who, as with ceaseless voice, cry, Alleluia, forever. And we join forever in the presence of the Lord Most High.